How's it going? I'm really excited to be making this video. It's been a long time coming, but here I am now, enlightened badass. Let's get this show on the road. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the advantages and disadvantages of being an introvert and an extrovert. So I feel like one isn't better than the other, but they can both learn something from each other. You know, if you're an introvert and you want to figure out how to be that social butterfly or develop that rock solid confidence, or if you're very outspoken and you keep striking out with women, then this video should help you. I'm going to first start off with talking about the advantages of extroverts. So extroverts are known as go-getters. They spend less time thinking and more time doing. Also, extroverts are more comfortable in a social environment and they crave it more, they seek it out more, and they just better socially adjusted than introverts, while introverts have to spend more time to warm up in a social environment. Extroverts are generally more animated and better at expressing themselves around new people, while introverts can generally come across more guarded and take more time to open up. Extroverts are more likable and popular because they're more in the moment. They're not as worried about what people think. They have more of a carefree attitude and they're not as self-critical as introverts. So the disadvantage is they can hog all the attention to themselves, and that can get in the way of building a deep connection with the girl. Giving her more time to talk. Because look, women love talking about themselves. So if you give her some room to talk about herself, she's gonna be like, wow, this guy is like really, this guy's amazing. I don't know, he just swept me off my feet. And all he did was listen. Extroverts could also be less aware than introverts on how they're affecting other people. Either it could be singling somebody out in the group, making a joke that may be offensive. Maybe they weren't thinking about how it may really affect them or embarrass them. Extroverts can also be too quick to speak. Although it's great to speak your mind, there are some situations where it's good to think it through before you speak. There's some times where you don't want to, for instance, embarrass a girl in front of all of her friends and ruin her night. Even if it's something as small as like that she has spinach in her teeth, she has toilet paper on her shoe. Maybe pull her aside and tell her instead of calling her out in front of all of her friends. Extroverts can sometimes be too intense. It's great to always have something to say, but sometimes you need to just shut your mouth. You just need to have an off switch. So some of the deepest connections are formed during moments of complete silence. Non-stop talking isn't always necessary. So I was actually coaching this guy a few weeks back, and he's a sociable guy. He had no problem going up and striking up conversations with girls. His problem is he was too intense. He was right in their face. He was doing all the talking. Just feel that energy and that connection. And sometimes you don't need talking for that. You just need to lay back, give the other person some time to talk, and it's good. Introverts are more likely to give people space, and generally are less needy because they need time to themselves. Also, introverts are mysterious, and I feel like that can also work in your favor if you play it right. Mysterious can also come across as shy. So it's important how you present yourself and making sure that everything that you say has a purpose. And communicating that with strong body language and presence. That's what's really going to set you apart and leave a strong impression. Focusing their energy into creative passion, that can make you an interesting person. Make sure that if you are a very creative person, let people in, tell people about it. Because if nobody knows, then nobody's gonna know that you're this amazing, interesting person if no one knows about your creative endeavors. Introverts are very good listeners, and I feel like this is an underappreciated quality. There's a difference between not having anything to say and being an effective listener. And when you're receptive and aware of other people, and not in your head, and just fully paying attention to what they're saying, that is what a good listener is. Women can perceive an introverted guy as a lone wolf. In other words, they don't need the girl. They're completely fine doing their own thing. Although introverts can be very self-sufficient, and they're okay being on their own, they can also come across as aloof and distant. Introverts can be standoffish and not quick to take action in social situations. Sometimes their interactions can be miscommunicated. So they may like a girl that they're talking to, but not able to communicate their intention to the girl. The girl may perceive them as disinterested because they are in their head thinking about what the next thing is to say, instead of paying attention to her right then in the moment, paying attention to what she's saying. Introverts are also less likely to take initiative and responsibility for their dating and social life. And if you want to have an awesome dating and social life, you got to take charge, you got to take action, you got to take risks. So my suggestion is, if you are an extrovert or an introvert and do not have a satisfying social or dating life, or even want to just improve it a little bit, I recommend taking elements from both and putting them together. Which is basically what I call an ambivert. Basically, you take your good qualities as an extrovert or introvert and combine them. And anyone can be an ambivert if they put in the work. Luckily, you are not stuck being one or the other, but compensate, developing certain traits depending on your innate strengths and weaknesses. For example, you may do too much listening and not take the lead in conversations, kind of let other people take the lead in the conversations. What you can do to fix this is be exposed to more social settings and start speaking your mind more often, and even if you think that is stupid. So eventually, by getting more feedback from other people, you'll be able to calibrate between listening and leading the conversation. Anyways, I hope this helps. For more content like this, please share and subscribe, and hope to see you next time. Peace.